Hello everyone and welcome back to Legacy Larder. I'm Andy.
I'm Sadie.
And today we're making orange bread. This is another great-great-grandmother recipe. I'm not sure when it was made last, and we've never made it before or an orange bread of any kind before. So we're excited to see how this one turns out. It should be pretty tasty. Ready to get going? All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, so recipe calls for starting off with a 1/4 cup of lukewarm water. And into that, we're going to dissolve 1 cake of yeast. And a cake of yeast is equivalent to 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. So we'll get that mixed in. All right, now what do we need?
And then it says to add to that a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice.
Yeah, I think, juice from, the recipe says from 2 large oranges. What did it take us, like 5? Or 5 small oranges. Whatever it takes to get you to 1 cup of orange juice, that's what you're shooting for.
Yep.
1/4 cup of white sugar, okay.
And then it says to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Okay. There's no mention in the recipe of letting the yeast get foamy.
No.
I'm kind of wondering if we should do that here.
I don't know.
Things are definitely starting to...
It just said to let it dissolve.
Yeah, it's dissolved.
Okay, then we're good.
What do we got? About...
A tablespoon?
Maybe a tablespoon of grated orange rind.
Yeah.
And that's from our oranges that we just juiced.
Yep.
That should give some nice interest to the bread.
So we have 2 tablespoons of melted shortening. And we are going to add to that 1 cup of flour.
All right, let's start with our 1 cup of flour.
So I don't know.
We're gonna end up with around 3 cups of flour.
Yeah. 3 cups-ish.
Use this fork to mix this together. It's only gonna be a little bit too liquidy still for my fingers. Okay, let's get some more flour going in here.
Okay. We're going to add another cup of flour.
We're doing this backwards from what I thought we were gonna do it. But that's okay.
And this is one we've never made. So I'm super excited to try it.
And it shows. Alright, we're at 2 cups of flour. Things are starting to come together a little bit here. Ooh, those little orange zest bits look very pretty.
Add enough flour to make bread consistency. So we're just gonna keep adding.
I guess, yeah. We'll just keep putting it in. The recipe tells us that we need to add enough flour to have a bread-like consistency or a dough-like consistency. Okay, we're just about to the point, I think, where we can turn this out and knead it on the counter. We're at approximately 3 cups, maybe 2 3/4 cups of flour so far. I think we are gonna call this good for the flour, just give it a bit of a knead to get all of this worked in and together. You want your dough to be not super hard and dry feeling. It should have some good squish. You don't want it to stick to the counter.
No. Which is kind of what it's doing a little bit, but
A little is okay, but you don't want it to look
be
like oobleck.
No, you don't want it to look like oobleck. That would be bad.
That's right. Grind your heel in there forward, working all that flour in. Make sure everything's good and well incorporated.
Yeah, it's just sticking to my hands barely.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You want to flour the counter a little bit more, Dad?
Yep. And then let me, I'll finish her up. It looks like you got a pretty good shape there. Give it a little bit of a finish, and then
grab that a bread pan,
Okay.
loaf pan.
We have buttered our loaf pan.
Yeah, we buttered our loaf pan.
That's what we do with bread. So.
Yeah, the recipe does not tell us what to do,
Unless
so
it's banana bread.
we're gonna use our own things. We have a nice pretty little loaf here. Got little bits of orange peel throughout. It's a little bit sticky, but not, it can be handled.
Yep.
Now, we'll just pop our little bread baby into the loaf pan, and now we're gonna put this in the oven at 375 degrees for
An hour.
1 hour. Okay, here we go.
All right, it's been 1 hour. We're now going to pull our orange bread. Oh, that smells delicious. And as we expected,
It's tiny.
it's tiny and didn't turn out because we followed the recipe. So let's
Yeah.
take a look, talk about why. So we have a very tiny, underdeveloped, basically undeveloped loaf.
Yeah.
Why? Why do we have that?
Well, we didn't let our yeast proof. We just mixed it in and we followed the recipe. And we didn't let it rise before we baked it.
I bet it still tastes pretty good though. It's just gonna be heavier.
Yeah, it smells like orange juice.
Yeah. One little trick you can do to test and see if the loaf of bread is done, give it a thump on the bottom. If it sounds kind of hollow, then your loaf is probably complete.
Is ours complete?
It is complete. It's very weedy, but it's complete. So let's chop it open and see what it tastes like.
Yep.
Okay, here's our loaf. Very little. We've got a pretty massive split in one side because, again, the yeast didn't get a chance to do its job. So let's give everything, let's give it a cut open here. It smells, one thing that is really pretty amazing here is the smell.
Yeah. It smells like orange juice.
Yeah, basically all of the liquid in this loaf is orange juice.
Yeah.
Fresh squeezed orange juice, so that is warm.
Oh, look at that steam.
Yep, it's a dense bread.
It's a dense loaf.
It shouldn't be, but
It is.
it is. Okay,
Maybe
Yep.
it's worth it and taste it.
maybe. And it looks okay. It smells great, but you can see how there's basically nothing for bubbles in here at all. It's just,
It's like a paste.
yeah, it's very, very thick. Like you can't really get much thicker. So yeah, if we would have let this rise, usually with bread, you let your yeast proof, so that means it gets foamy on top with the sugar and the water and the yeast mixed together. Let it sit there until it starts to foam and the yeast comes alive. And then the second thing that's a usual component to a yeast bread is that you let the dough double in size before you put it in the pan and bake it.
Yeah.
So then you've got lots of air bubbles inside, and those get locked in then during the baking process. So let's give it a taste.
Let's.
You first.
Okay, I'll try this.
How's it taste? Ooh, it's very orangey, which is good because it's full of orange juice.
Well, it's not like cow, but it's a nice, subtle orange flavor.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's not overpowering orange. This would be really good if it was lighter and fluffier. But this way, it tastes great.
And this would definitely be a good, like, tea biscuit thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just too heavy. That's all. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when we write up the recipe for this one, we'll make some adjustments to it so you don't end up with the same little brick loaf that we did. But yeah, let the yeast proof. let the dough double in size, and this makes it a nice tasty little bread. This is definitely a good one. This is a good one, this is a keeper. Anything else? Any other notes on this one? Oh, there was another piece in the recipe that came after the baking, which was to mix up egg and sugar glaze and put on the top, but we figured that we would not do that because
It was already in the oven.
dousing the top with raw egg after it's been baked probably wasn't what was intended.
No. And it was after everything else, and it should have been before
The bake,
the
right?
heat.
Yeah, so it should have been, make your dough, put it in the pan, glaze it with the egg and sugar, then bake it. And of course, letting your dough rise. So we're gonna fix that in the recipe too, so you don't run into that mistake either. So, give this one a try with the changes and adjustments that we made to the recipe to give you a better shot at success. And leave some comments, let us know how it turned out for you.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah. So that is our recipe for today, orange bread. Give it a try, let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this recipe or any of our others, please subscribe to the channel, that helps us out. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. So I'm Andy,
I'm Sadie.
this is Legacy Larder. Be good to each other, and we hope to see you again soon.